Yo, what's up? So, this video is going to be a long video probably. I will lay out a program or at least a template in what I think it's a good way to start beginners into weight training. This won't be anything specific. So if like the way I come up with this was I started thinking if I had a gym, my own gym, or if I was a training at a gym, and a person would come to me to start training and they never trained before, how would I approach it? How would I start training that person? And so that's what this video is about, how to approach those situations, how it would be better to progress, in my opinion. So just one note before I start, this will assume that you have access to the equipment that I'm gonna mention. If you don't, just try to come up with a solution on your own, or just ask me in the comments and I will try to help. So anyway, the client comes to you, or maybe it's not a client, maybe you're not a coach, but you're just trying to help a friend or a family member or something to start training. How would you start? What type of program and exercises would you put them on? Now you can always do what almost everyone does, which is put them on a full body and squat, bench, deadlift, which is fine and it will work. But in my opinion, it's not the best way to do things. It's better if you can to progress slowly and have a foundation first, because putting someone to squat when they don't know how to squat and putting someone to deadlift when they don't know how to deadlift, it's a bit tricky sometimes. So anyway, let's start. First exercise has to be squat. They must learn how to squat. Squat is the foundation of everything. Problem is they will probably don't know how to squat. This is quite common in people who never did any sports, never exercised very much. So this will be a problem that you will almost for certain encounter. So how do you fix that? First of all, see if they can goblet squat. So grab a dumbbell or a kettlebell and just squat down. If they can, great, start there. Start doing goblet squats, get them stronger at it, and then they can easily transition to full barbell squats. If they can't do goblet squats, start them on box squats. So they just pretty much squat to a box. Now, the thing is, I would start with a high box, about half a squat level. If they are really unfit, really unmobile, really overweight, perhaps a quarter squat. But I think half a squat is a good guideline. And so basically what you will do is, over time, you will lower the box until it reaches your desired depth, which in my opinion should be as low as possible, as long as you don't shift your pelvis. What people call butt wink. If there isn't excessive butt wink, then it's fine. Go as low as possible, as long as that doesn't happen. So when they are squatting, box squatting pretty low, you can start add some weight to that. So they box squat with a kettlebell or a dumbbell, and after that they will very easily transition to goblet squats, and after that they will easily transition to barbell squats. So the squats are out of the way. You already know how to progressing them. Just a very slight note, if they can't do goblet squats and if they have to start on goblet squats, I would recommend to add some lunges as well, because the box squats alone won't build, in my opinion, a very solid lower body strength foundation. The goblet squats will, but the box squats not really. So if you add the box squats and lunges, I think it will be great, because you will be building the squat motor pattern. They will be learning how to squat, but in the meantime the lunges will get them stronger legs and stronger glutes, which will be very helpful in the future. So you're attacking from two different angles, which is beneficial in my opinion. Again, this is not needed if the person you're training can already do goblet squats. So anyway, squats out of the way. Now let's go to pressing. Pressing, you can either horizontal press, like a barbell bench press, or you can either vertical press, like an overhead press. I would recommend to pick only one in the beginning. And you can either like pick one and do that forever, or you can either pick one per session. Like for example, Starting Strength does, and Strong Lifts, and whatever, those famous programs. You alternate. So one session you do barbell bench press, another session you do overhead press. That is absolutely awful for powerlifting, but for general strength, strength foundation, I think that's great. If you decide to only pick one forever, I would pick the overhead press over the barbell bench press, because I think that has more carryover to real life. It's more functional. But most of the times, I think people would prefer to just alternate between vertical pressing and horizontal pressing. In the vertical pressing, there isn't much to tell, because there isn't any progression needed, because you just can overhead press very lightweight. I would recommend dumbbells instead of a barbell. First of all, I think dumbbells are better in terms of hypertrophy, better in terms of safety. Safety kind of debatable. You can't do a 3 rep max on dumbbells, but your client in the beginning won't be doing 3 rep maxes or 1 rep maxes in dumbbell overhead press anyway, so you don't need to worry about that. Another thing I would add is, I think it would be more beneficial to the clients, to the trainee, to do the overhead press standing and not sitting, even if it's dumbbells. For some reason, when it's a barbell, it's always standing. But when people switch to dumbbells, oh no, we can't do dumbbells. We can't do dumbbells standing. We have to sit. Why that difference? I think dumbbell standing overhead press is a great exercise, and I would recommend you to start on that. And again, there's no need for progression, because there isn't much to learn. If you choose for a horizontal press, there's obviously the bench press. If you don't want the bench press, there is dumbbell bench press, or dumbbell press, whatever you want to call it. If the trainee isn't strong enough to bench the barbell, which for example happened to me when I started lifting, I wasn't strong enough to even bench the barbell. What you can do is, you can do either start with dumbbells. You can start with them, for example, with 5-pound dumbbells, and just work on that and progress over time, and then you can switch. Once they're strong enough, you can then start doing the bench press. Or if you want, just get them stronger at pressing by push-ups. Works too. So yeah, that's all you need to know about pressing. Either pick horizontal press or vertical press, or alternate between them each session. So now, something you need on the program as well to build a solid foundation is a deadlift, or some type of pull from the floor. Again, a deadlift will be challenging for a beginner. What I recommend is a sumo kettlebell block pull. This sounds very fancy, sounds very special, but it isn't. Basically, instead of deadlifting a barbell, you're deadlifting a kettlebell. And instead of doing conventional, you just do sumo. I'm not talking about like powerlifting sumo, where you open your hips a shitload. Just do sumo, a close stance sumo, okay? It's like some people call the hybrid sumo, or the mixed sumo, or whatever. You know what I mean. So, and like I mentioned, from blocks. So we're going to limit the range of motion in order to be easier to learn, just like we did in the squat. So instead of starting from the floor, you just put, like, for example, 4 mats, right? And they just deadlift the kettlebell from there. And in the next session, you remove 1 mat. So now there's 3. And then you keep doing that until they start deadlifting from the floor. Once they are deadlifting the kettlebell from the floor, let them get stronger at it, build a foundation, and then you can move them to, if you can, to a trap bar deadlift. I think that's a great transition exercise, because it's easier than the conventional deadlift, but at the same time it's very similar. So I think it's good to transition, and that once they are in the trap bar deadlift, again, let them get stronger at it for a while, build a foundation, and then you can move to conventional deadlift. And that's the great thing about doing this slow exercise transition. Once they start deadlifting conventional, they will know already how to deadlift. They will know how to engage the glutes, they will know how to keep their back straight, etc. because of the easier variations they did in the past. If you just pick someone who never trained before and you put them on starting strength, they will they will be forced to deadlift when they don't know how to deadlift. Okay, so that's the plus in this type of routines, in my opinion. So yeah, deadlift taken care of. Now what you want to do is have some extra pulling. The deadlift is a pull, but it's not like a pure pull. The back isn't involved very much. It is, but it's more in a isometric thing. So you want something that is actually more real pulling, where you're engaging the lats very much. For example, like a row or like a pull-up. I recommend the pull-up. I think they are much superior to rows. In certain cases, you would probably want to do both, but since this is just to lay a foundation, I think if you just pick pull-ups or chin-ups, it will be fine. So just pick one, chin-ups or pull-ups. I prefer chin-ups, and I put people doing chin-ups, but it's your call. In terms of progression, not very difficult. If they can do chin-ups, fine, problem solved, but they probably won't. Untrained people normally can't do pull-ups or chin-ups. So what you do is you get a band, you hang the band on the bar, then you put the band on their knee, on their hips, on their foot, whatever, and you just progress on that. And once they are strong enough, then put them doing real pull-ups and real chin-ups with their own body weight. So yeah, pulling taken care of, and that's pretty much it. That's the base of a program. There's a few things I would add. First of all, a bit of accessory work. This has to be, by the way, accessory work should be as limited as possible. You don't want to just throw a bunch of things in. What I would do is I would either put hyperextensions or glute ham raises. They are a bit different, but I can't really pick one because I really like both. What I would probably do is, again, just like the pressing, I would probably alternate. So one session glute ham raise, another session hyperextensions. And so just alternate on that. You can add another things if you want to. For example, I think core work is very beneficial for any beginner, and core work doesn't have a lot of thinking into it. Just do planks. I think planks are awesome for everything, really. And just get them stronger at planks. Once they are strong enough, once they can do planks for a long time, like once they can do it for like 2 minutes, either choose a plank variation that is harder. There's tons of variations, just fucking Google it. Or you can start adding weights to the planks, weighted planks, or you just pick another exercise completely, like for example, a ab rollout. So yeah, you can also throw some other accessory work if you think it's needed. You can throw, for example, barbell curls. Personally, on that example, I think it's not necessary because you already have the chin-ups, but whatever, it's your call. And so that's it. And after that, the accessory work, if you think it's needed, you can throw some cardio in, some GPP if they're like really out of shape. So yeah, it's your call, but that's the routine. So now you have a very specific thing in mind, very specific template or a very specific program if you need to have someone to start training. So let's recap everything really quick. Squats, start them squats, box squats and lunges. Then you start goblet squats, you remove the lunges, and then barbell squats. Then in terms of pressing, either horizontal press or vertical press or alternate between. If it's a horizontal press, you can start with a barbell bench press. If they can't, start with a push-up or light dumbbell press. In terms of vertical press, I recommend dumbbell standing overhead press. So that's pressing right there. Then the deadlift, kettlebell deadlift with a sumo stance off blocks. Then remove the blocks until it's on the floor. Then get stronger at it. Change to trap bar deadlift, and then change to conventional deadlift. And then the pulling, I recommend chin-ups, like I said. Get them stronger at banded chin-ups. And then the accessory work, I recommend core work and something for the posterior chain. And that's it. That's all you need to know. So yeah, I don't think I need to say anything else. I think I said everything. So if you have any questions, post in the comments. I will try to help. So yeah, I hope it was helpful. Sorry that it's so long, but yeah, peace.